Happy New Year, good people. I trust you are well and that the new year has started treating you well. Welcome to the Save Happy Life channel with me, Dr. Rose M. And for the next 3 or so days, we shall be focusing on the new graduates, the young adults. And today, young adults who are also new graduates. I know you are excited about life. This is for you. Parents, if you have a young graduate, make sure that they listen to this video. Graduates, job search starts now. This is the time to think about the CVs and the resumes. Happy New Year. Job search is on. I am sure that many of you are dreaming of their plum jobs, even putting pressure on universities and colleges to release your certificates because you need them to look for jobs. But wait a minute. Let me resound those practical writing lessons in grammar that you not so liked, I'm sure. Is your CV in order, my dear graduate? Just to clarify, by the way, what is the difference between a resume and a CV? In the Kenyan context, the two are used interchangeably, but they are not quite the same. According to Britannica.com, resume is derived from a French word resume that means to summarize. CV is an abbreviation of a Latin phrase, curriculum vitae, which means course of one's life. A resume typically presents education, experience, credentials, and relevant skills to a specific job that one desires. This is a short presentation that would normally not exceed 2 A4 pages when printed. A CV presents more about the person's academic background, the certificates, diplomas, degrees, research works, publications, presentations in conferences and lectures, honors that somebody has acquired, and a reverse chronological experience of work. That means starting with the latest, and other accomplishments, including continued learning and sometimes references. There are very many common mistakes that job seekers make on their CVs or resumes that deny them the all needed opportunity of getting a job. I have done a very comprehensive list of the common mistakes that appear on people's CVs and resumes. 30 in number. Allow me to go through all of them, listen to all of them, and cross-check with your CV or resume if you have any of them and edit accordingly. Number 1, Lengthy CVs or resume that is more than 2 A4 pages. Employers do not have time to read anything that goes beyond 2 pages. It is too long to read unless you really applying for a very, very senior position where you need to prove yourself. People think that the longer the CV, the better and the higher the chances of getting a job. Unfortunately, the answer is no. Mistake number 2. Personal information should have only your name, formally written, your contact phone number, your email address. Never include other details such as married with 4 children, single, a photograph of yourself, your nationality, your date of birth and age, your religion affiliation, your sexual orientation, your PIN number, your social security number, your ID number should never ever appear on your document. Employment trades are non-discriminatory in nature, and such it is illegal even for some countries for employers to ask for such details because they denote discrimination. Number 3, avoid headshots or passport size photograph because it reveals your race, your religious affiliation, your age, your gender, all that which could lead to a discriminative treatment of your CV or application. This is, of course, unless you're a TV celebrity and applying for a similar role. In that case, your physical appearance is important. Number 4, avoid or do not use unprofessional email addresses such as sweetierose@.com. Rather, have a formally written email address such as rose.muragori at whatever the domain.com. Do not include shared family emails such as roseandfamily@blah.com. Number 5, do not present multiple phone numbers or multiple email contacts. And by the way, PO Box is no longer necessary on a CV. It is no longer relevant. Rather, create at least one professional online profile on sites like LinkedIn or GIT Hub, depending on your line of work, and include the link at the top of your resume. Do not include your other social media presence. It is not necessary. Mistake number 6, one size for all. This means that presenting a non-customized CV or resume is a no-no. Please read through the terms of reference in the job advert. Read thoroughly about the company you want to apply to so that you're able to show your contribution to their vision and objectives. That means customize every CV. Mistake number 7, CV or resume objective statements that use space without selling you to your prospective employer. If you must have a career statement, it should be 3 to 5 very short sentences that explain why you are suitable for the role or for the career and that you seek. A career and qualification summary, An average sentence should not go beyond 12 words. Number 8, exaggerations. Do not exaggerate your capacities. For example, you write there, excellent report writer. While none of that can be proven in your job history. Number 9, mixing up of dates. These are careless mistakes that show, for example, you were in school and working in the same month, or working for two outfits in the same year or in the same month, unless you have a logical explanation, which you should give. Mistake number 10, avoid gaps in months or years of your life. Nobody wants to have somebody who cannot account for 3 months, 1 year of their adult life or their supposedly career life, and you expect to be hired. No. Number 11, avoid typos and spelling mistakes. This should be at a CV or a resume should be at your 100% perfection presentation. Every comma, every full stop must be in its proper place. Mistake number 12, untidy formatting. I have seen quite a bit of this in the course of my work. This is a mix-up of fonts and font sizes, flowery formats, line spacing that is different, and normally 12 points, 12 point or size, font size for normal text, and 14 for subsection in titles and headers, all in black is good enough. Avoid those flowery fonts that may not even be read by the computer to which your resume or your CV will add in. Calibre, Arial, and the good old Times New Roman are good enough. If you choose to bold, italize, or uppercase, or use uppercase or in some words, it must be consistent through your document. Mistake number 13, copy paste in the cyber cafes. Young people, young graduates, there is no shortcut to doing a good CV. Doing your CV in a cyber cafe or asking that cyber cafe friend of yours to do it for you opens a door to a million mistakes, because what they will do is that they will pick a CV and try to copy paste for you. That way it gets to you with words that are irrelevant. It includes slogans that are out of place and do not help to sell you to your prospective employer. Mistake number 14, undervaluing oneself. This means failing to mention some of activities that you feel are minor. For example, you fail to mention some assignment where you volunteered. Volunteering for assignments is taken as a serious contribution to the society by employers, and they like it. Mistake number 15, use of pedestrian statements such as a team player without giving an example. If you mention that you're a team player, you must cite a team player activity that is or that can be attributed to you. Or you simply say, I meet targets. timely targets. What targets are you talking about? Give an example of a target that you met. Mistake number 16, storytelling. Your summary skills here come into play. Be terse, precise, concise. Similarly, if you are a new graduate, do not try to put flesh into your CV so that your CV is long. Words and sentences do not matter here. A recruiter or an employer is interested in facts and not stories. Mistake number 17, sending CV or resume in PDF unless asked. This is a bit controversial because some employers will want you to send their CV in PDF. There is a challenge sometimes because when you send a CV in PDF, some ATS, this is applicant tracking system, or this is a software that could be used to read your CV on the other end, might not be compatible with the version of the PDF you have used. So in this case, Word format is readable by most ATS softwares. Mistake number 18, too much history. As you advance, your past becomes irrelevant. Do not include your primary school achievements if you're already a graduate. Everybody knows that you must have gone to a primary school. Maybe the lowest you can go is your secondary school. And then what you have achieved and in the course of your studies is undergraduate. In the same way, when you have worked for 20 years, what you did in the first 3 years, 5 years, it may not be relevant in a new resume because that happened so long time ago, it may not even be of any interest to any current employer, unless you really feel that it is adding value to your CV as a selling point for yourself. Mistake number 19. It is not necessary to mention your past salary or your salary expectation because this may lead to underpayment or loss of a vacancy if a prospective employer feels that you're too expensive for him or for her to hire you. Mistake number 20. If your resume is impressive, the prospective employer may or may not ask for references. What am I saying here? That it is not necessary to include a long list of your referees, and you use a precious space where you could have used or written other items or other details about yourself to strengthen your position as an applicant for the job that you could be seeking. Mistake number 20. Do not use graphs, tables, and other forms of graphic presentations and acronyms because while they look nice to you as you go through your CV, they may be impossible or difficult to read on the other side. This is the applicant tracking systems may not be able to decode the graphs and the tables and the acronyms you have used. Mistake number 22. Do not rainbow your CV or resume. Let it not have green, blue, yellow, or colors of the rainbow. It may look beautiful in your eyes, but will not impress your prospective employer. Mistake number 23. Do not list duties and responsibilities. If anything, prove your abilities and achievements in your CV. Mistake number 24. Do not include reasons why you left a previous job. That is not necessary. Number 25. Do not use rating dots or stars or scale where you have five, for example, stars, and out of the 5, you rate yourself at 4 in communication skills. That is not necessary. It may make sense to you, but not to your prospective employer, because the rating system or the rating scale is not uniform, and it is not agreed upon between you and the prospective employer. So it may look like it is a strong rating, but what is the reference point? It's not clear. So do not use it. Number 26. Do not include hobbies unless asked, because your hobbies might be offensive to your prospective recruiter. And you might lose a chance because you have included something which is a no for the recruiter. Keep your hobbies to yourself unless you're asked. Mistake number 27. Do not leave CV or resume instructions. For example, in a template where you are asked to give details about your current position. Rather, just do what the instruction has told you to do, while you delete the instructions, because already the person or the hiring outfit that has given you the chance to write the CV using their instructions or using their template, they already know what they want. So yours is to obey the instructions and delete the instructions bit so that your work flows. Mistake number 28. Do not tell lies to fill in your gaps. People tend to add salt and spices, which are not truthful items in the CV, so that they can look impressive, they can impress the recruiter. Please do not tell a lie. Just be truthful, plain and simple. Now, problem number 20 or mistake number 29. Do not create length by using unrealistic line and paragraph spacing, so that the CV looks long. It's 3 pages, while you have used spacing, double spacing, or even triple spacing, just to make the CV look puffed up. No, it do not do that. It will not look realistic, and it will not impress your would-be recruiter. And the last one, problem or mistake number 30. Focus, focus, focus on the reason why you're writing the CV. Writing a resume is not a 1-hour job at the cyber cafe, dear graduate. It is not. It is not a 3 minutes affair at the cyber cafe where you go with a flash disk and you give to the cyber person and you tell the cyber person, please edit this for me. No, take your time to do your CV, because this is the mirror that people are going to use to look at you. Once it is done, please use people who are more knowledgeable than you to proofread it or edit it for you. Do not be in a hurry, because when you're in a hurry, particularly when you're doing an application, you want to quickly fill in, do the cover letter, do the CV, and you said in the application because you have seen the deadline is next week, or because you really want to apply for so many jobs. Please take time to do your CV. This is your first impression, your first meeting with your would-be recruiter. I know that there's professional CVs and resume writers, but the danger of using them is they may write something that is very good, perfect, but you may not have interacted wholly with it. So when it gets to the interview time, you may be asked about some questions relating to your CV and you get tongue-tied. Believe me, you young graduate, I have seen this happen. If you must use these professional CV and resume writers, please make sure that you use them to edit or improve on what you yourself has already written, so that you are able to follow. You know the document, you understand the document, and you can defend it, and you can answer any question should you be asked by a potential employer. Please remember, graduates, that a CV is your prospective employer's first impression of you. Number two, it must always be tailored for specific employer and the job that you are interested in. You do not have one CV that you keep throwing. If, for example, a media house needs a CV, you throw it there. If it is a food manufacturing company, you throw it there. If it is an environmental-based organization, you throw it there. No. Tailor your CV every time you are making an application, because specific employers want you to prove to them on your CV that you understand the role of the job that they have put up, and you also understand their company, you understand their objectives, and therefore you're going to add value to the position that they have advertised. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we continue on the same. We shall look at what to include in a CV or a resume. And the day after, we shall look at the difference between resumes and CVs in different countries, because different countries demand different formats. So there is a lot more. Dear graduate, please keep that bell on, so that once I upload the video, you'll be able to learn more. This is the only way of getting a job these days, unless you have a shorter route. And this now is the point of a personal reminder, because I know along the way, very many of us, particularly those who did not do languages and they did other courses, things like writing a CV are long forgotten. This is the moment of reckoning. We must sharpen our skills in writing CVs or writing resumes. I wish you all the best, young graduates. Jobs are there only if we present ourselves nicely, we dress up ourselves by our CVs, and we impress our would-be recruiters. I wish you a happy new year. Continue subscribing. Please share, because I believe this will help Not just one, but very many of us who are in search of jobs. Bye bye.